lovers of libations, and welcome to Infusion Brewing, where we are celebrating 1 year of good friends and good beer. There is, a huge crowd. It is standing room only here at Infusion, which only goes to tell everybody how much that they love Jim and Andy, who are the owners, the brewers, the men behind Infusion Brewing. Before we get started, I have Sean Nordquist from the Florida Brewers Guild, who has a special presentation for you guys.
I do. So, super proud of you guys. We're really happy to have you part of the guild. And so I figured it's a perfect time to come and deliver your very own tin tacker.
Yay!
So, I'm really excited I could be here. I'm excited to be able to celebrate with you guys and to hang out. So I'll be around all night. Cool.
Nice. Thank you. That is awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So, for those of you who don't know who we are, For the Love of Libations is a group of friends who love to drink and who love libations and who love going out to different breweries and talking about beer, going to distilleries, going to wineries. I know that you guys can hear the crowd here. So you guys have been busy nonstop. I think you started at like 4:30.
Yeah.
That is insane. Now, you've been outside, of course, cooking. You've been behind the bar. How many people do you think have been here today?
At least 300.
Oh my gosh. And you know what? That is a tribute to you guys, to your beer, what you guys are doing here. We are so happy to be able to come here and celebrate your 1 year anniversary with you guys. Are you guys tired?
Yes, I'm tired.
I know, but that is so good that, obviously everybody's here because they love the beer, they love you guys, and they love Infusion Brewing. We talked earlier in the month all about your 1 year in business, and I do have an interview that we're going to play later. But first of all, I want to ask you guys, if you guys could change anything, would you change anything at all about this past year?
No, it's been a great year. Yeah. A lot of great people. Great. Yeah.
And you guys also made a special beer for tonight. What is that beer?
It's a double oatmeal stout with chocolate and raspberry.
Chocolate and raspberry. If you guys are out and about, I know that it's Gasparilla weekend. Everybody's busy. But if you can make it down here to Infusion Brewing on Mitchell Boulevard in Trinity, come try the beer. Come say hi. Hey, Paul, how you doing? We're live. Woo, you've got pork. Yeah, there's pork. There's all kinds of food. Fantastic beer. This place is packed and rocking, and we are so happy to be here to help celebrate with you guys. We love you guys and everything that you've done to help support us for the love of libations. So I'm going to play that interview because I know you guys are busy. You got customers who want to talk to you. You've got a pig to roast. You got beer to serve. So my technical director is going to run that interview from a few weeks ago, and then we will be back with Sean Nordquist to talk about the Florida Brewers Guild. Hey there, lovers of libations. I am Christina, and I am down here at the beautiful Infusion Brewing Company on Mitchell Boulevard. And of course, I have Andy and Jim, who are the handsome faces behind Infusion Brewing. So first of all, I want to say thank you for doing this with me. I wanted to do a year in review because your anniversary is coming up soon.
Correct.
Thank you.
The end of January. Yes,
End of January. So you're having a big party. That's awesome. Is there going to be a special beer release maybe for that day too?
Yes. Yeah, we're going to have an oatmeal stout. It's going to be more like a double with chocolate and raspberry.
Chocolate and raspberry. Yeah. So you guys are going to be starting the party at about
noon.
Yep. Partying until
as soon as we open, till we close.
Partying until 11. So they can come on down. Is there going to be any snacks?
We're working on a menu now. We've kicked around a couple of different ideas. We haven't firmed it up yet, but there will be food.
Oh, that's awesome. So this year, of course, congratulations and cheers.
Cheers.
1 year here at Infusion. So the past year, you guys have you started small. and then you started doing some events here and there, some bottle shares, and you've got some trivia going on. So are there any memories that you guys have that you'd like to share about your first year here?
There's a lot of memories, actually.
Actually, a lot.
The best part is all the friends we've
Right,
made.
the people.
You folks,
Yeah.
all the regulars that come in. I mean, they're not just customers, they're friends. I mean,
Well,
they really and truly are
That's
friends.
what your motto is, good beer with good friends.
Correct. And
And
it's a great community. We've been very well received, and we've really enjoyed this year. It's been tiring, but we've had a good time.
but you wouldn't change a thing.
Not at this point.
No,
Nope.
no. I mean, we're here a lot. We've met a lot of fun and interesting people, of course, with Beer and Sunshine at first, and now with For the Love of Libations. And of course, the beer is fantastic.
Thank you.
And who comes up with the recipes?
He's the mad scientist for the most part. Is Jim.
So, do you have any new ones that you're working on for 2018?
A lot, quite a few of them. We would like to do some sessions. We want to start getting into using some more fruits, orange and stuff like that, and maybe making some subtle changes to cream ale and using honey, and there's all kinds of things we want to do.
Maybe throwing a Belgian in there.
Yeah, throw
Ooh,
Belgium.
Get out some of the sweet honey, add some sweetness to that.
Yeah.
Now, is there any specific recipes that you have brewed? Because I know you started as home brewers. Now, do you have any that you've done at home that you've changed to do here on a bigger scale?
Oh no. Well, my cream ale is the same one I brewed at home.
Oh, okay.
It's just more of it.
More of it.
Yeah. The other ones we've had to make subtle changes because of the size of the pots. You know, there's utilization issues that you have to deal with, but for the most part, the double IPA that we started making, Andy came up with the idea of adding the jalapenos to it, which has come up with our Pep in Your Step, which is a very popular beer.
It is popular, and I'm sure anybody who's been through these doors has tried it at least once, and it's so good that somebody actually wrote a story in the
Yes.
Tampa Bay
Tampa Bay Times.
Yeah.
Correct. It was the craft beer of the week.
Craft Beer of the Week. Which week was that they did?
Ooh, it was in November.
In November.
I don't recall which week though.
But I mean, Pep in Yo Step was a big seller even before he did that article.
Absolutely.
Now, did you notice that you had people who had never been here before after the article, and they came in and said, "Listen,
Yes.
I need
Yes.
to try that Pep in Yo Step."
They read the article.
Several folks.
Yes.
So
Quite a few.
that's probably going to be one that's going to be on your list, your beer list for
Forever.
forever and ever.
For the foreseeable future, absolutely.
Now, every time I come here, of course, I get the mango. I go between the American wheat and the mango. I really like this one. Now, whose recipe is this?
Mine.
Yours.
Yeah, it's my wheat with mango in it.
No, that's really good. Now, do you use like a syrup, or is it real?
That's a syrup from LD Carlson. They make natural flavorings for beer and wine
Okay.
industry, and which is nice because it gives a subtle flavor and it's not overpowering or chemical or
So it was your wheat recipe that you were making at home,
Right.
And then came here and said, "I'm going to add some
right.
mango." So, what is your favorite beer that you guys have here?
My favorite is probably all. I like them all.
No,
Yeah, it's hard to
it
say.
Was a trick question, Jim.
I know.
You're supposed to love all of your beer.
I do love them all, but I guess if I was to pick the one I like the most, if I was to line them up, maybe the black IPA and the porter I really like.
Okay, so you kind of like the chewier beers, is that
I
it?
like those, and I like the IPAs also.
Okay.
But I really like the way the black IPA is. I like that roasted grain and the bitterness at the end.
And what about you, Andy? What's your
Whatever we have the most
whatever
of.
you have the most of?
Yeah, that's my favorite of the week. My go-to is the black IPA as well.
So next year, do you guys have any plans to partake in any more events that are outside of Infusion?
We'd like to. We became members of the Florida Brewers Guild, so we'd like to take part in some of the events that they do during Beer Week. I know there's a charity event that they do the first weekend down in Dunedin that we've attended a couple of times and really enjoyed, and would love to be a part of that.
Okay.
So we're going to contact those folks and see what we can do about getting involved in some of the stuff at Beer Week. Yeah.
That's great. And I mean, you guys have been helpful with us, of course, because our main thing is to give back to charity. When we did the big thing in December, the Brew Hope for the Messengers of Hope, and we had some beer on tap. So that was great that you guys helped out, and I'm hoping that in 2018, you guys will help us out and be able to help them out as well.
Absolutely.
Right.
I'd love to do stuff like that. Is there any other events that you'd like to start doing in 2018?
We don't know.
Don't know.
Don't know.
Well, we have the bottle share that's
Right.
the second Thursday of each month.
Correct.
And you get a lot of people coming down for that.
We do actually. Yeah, it's been very well received. We've been busier than we'd anticipated.
That's
on
good. And of course, Trivia Tuesdays.
Trivia Tuesdays.
We love Trivia Tuesday, and we come down, and this place is packed on Tuesdays. We get, I think, about 7-8 teams, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was eight or nine teams the last trivia we had. But
And it's always good to come out with friends, have a few drinks, in the middle of
Right.
the week, and actually learn stuff and get
use
this thing going.
Use your gray matter. Yeah.
Use your gray matter.
We're kicking around doing a vinyl night. We're gonna hook up a turntable to our sound system so people can bring their albums in. And
You gonna do some
Well,
scratching?
I don't know about that. We're too old for that.
yeah, that's for sure.
DJ Jim and MC Andy,
yeah,
come on down.
yeah, that's it. Break it down.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have had the pleasure of actually working behind the bar. I've, volunteered my time, did some work behind the bar. And of course, your staff is amazing. Tell us about your staff and what part they've played in your success.
The biggest majority of our staffs are our better halves.
Yeah.
Wives.
Our wives have been instrumental in
Kelly and Lisa.
Kelly and Lisa.
yeah.
And were they not on board, this never would have gotten off the ground and done as well as it has. Would have been a struggle the whole way through if they weren't behind us. We've got Eric, who if you come in on a Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday, you've met him.
Yep.
He's an energetic fellow.
He is.
He's full of great ideas. He's a huge help to us. He's certainly an asset to our company.
No, he's great. I mean, his personality behind the bar is fantastic. And I guess he has the title, everybody teases him, the BM.
Right. He's the BM.
And kudos to you guys. Whatever it is that you're doing, it's working.
Well, we enjoy going to breweries just as much as the next person, and we know what we do and don't like when we go to a brewery. So,
Exactly.
you go to a brewery and you stand and wait to get waited on for 5, 6, 8, 10 minutes, it gets frustrating. So we vowed that we'll never make anybody wait, irrespective of how busy we are. If we're that busy, we just get more people to help.
Exactly.
Right.
And you of course did a tour recently of a bunch of breweries. You guys went a trip in that. Yeah.
North Carolina. Yeah.
So did you learn anything by visiting those breweries up there?
That I like doing it. And I want to do it again. No, actually, one nice thing about the breweries, they all pretty much follow same suit. They all have the same kind of beers. Of course, the flavors are different, but I enjoy the decor mostly. That's what I like about going to the different breweries, to see what people have done.
Okay.
You
Now,
know.
when you taste some of those, do you get like maybe some ideas for something that you can bring back here and brew when you get back home?
No, tell you the truth, I don't. I generally go to enjoy their beer, and they do their thing, we do our thing, and I don't want to, hopefully not get caught up in trying to copy somebody
Yeah.
else's.
So you just go to see what they're doing, see what
Right.
their establishment looks like on the inside, and to spend some time with your beautiful wife.
Right.
Exactly. Have you gone any trips?
Not recently. We went earlier in the year. We went to North Georgia and North Carolina. We hit a couple of breweries up in North Carolina and Georgia, and we had a great time. It was relaxing to get away.
Good, yeah. That's the thing. You do this for your second job because you guys have regular jobs. You do this as your because it's a passion that you guys have.
Correct.
So you just wanted to go out and see what everybody else is doing.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah.
So 2018 coming around really soon, and I understand that you guys have something that's coming up in 2018 as well. Maybe you want to share with everybody what you guys have planned.
Well, we're expanding.
We are expanding.
Woo-hoo!
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's nice, and not in the 9-month pregnancy way.
No.
Oh,
Expanding the business. Now, can you
Correct.
tell them a
Expand the
little bit about that, or is it still?
Well, our goal is to, we're going to add about 2/3 to the size of our establishment now, and we're going to offer grains, hops, and yeasts to homebrewers.
Oh, so it's
we're
like
gonna be a homebrew supply store.
That's
as
great.
well as expand our brewery.
Right.
That's good. So they'll be able to buy their grains. Will they be able to buy like equipment, small?
Maybe not at the very beginning, but that's our goal, is to get to that point at some point.
Yeah, we'll sell like buckets and fittings and hose, but we probably won't sell pots. And, most people, will buy that online because there's so many different options out there. But, you might need a fitting or piece
Yeah,
of
because
hose.
I don't think in this local area that there really is anywhere for people to buy that sort of thing.
Not close.
No.
Yeah, not in the neighborhood. There's nobody in the neighborhood that, right, so.
And plus, they can also come in and enjoy some of this
Right.
fantastic beer.
Which is also helpful.
Yes. But thank you so much. Thank you for being a friend to For the Love of Libations and helping us in our mission to bring good beer to people. So, cheers to a great year and all the best for 2017. And don't forget that when you are out and about trying some of this beer, to libation in moderation so that you arrive safe at your destination.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That was a great interview with two great guys. I did that a few weeks ago, and we talked about the whole year at Infusion. And I don't know if everybody out there can hear the
It is insane.
I mean,
Insane in
seriously,
here.
it is like so many people here to help celebrate 1 year, and it is like, have you ever seen anything like this?
This is crazy. For 1 year, and considering where they are, you can tell that they've really done a lot. They've created a community here. They've really brought people in from around the area. It's not just your beer geeks, like people who live here, people who like good beer. This is really awesome to see.
And I mean, and those of you who didn't catch us at the beginning, this is Sean Nordquist, who is the executive director of the Florida Brewers Guild. You presented them with a plaque. They're part of the Florida Brewers Guild now. Now, when a brewery becomes part of the guild, what happens after that? What does that entail?
So being part of the guild, it means that you get to participate in our festival. It means you get to participate in our conference that we have every year. But more importantly, it's what we do the rest of the year. We work with legislators. We work to really try to push legislation and laws that are friendly to breweries. Really helping open a lot of the doors that have been closed for the small independent breweries in the state, as well as trying to block some of the stuff that some industries might be trying to push that keep the small breweries from doing what they want to do.
And I mean, not only the legal stuff, you guys do a little bit of fun stuff too.
Oh, of course we do. We do lots of fun stuff. We do from our festivals and all around the state to our meetups. And everything, so we do from big to small. We even do our educational sessions, things like that. And then getting to do events like this. One of the perks of the job is getting to participate in great.
And another perk is getting to drink.
And drinking. Some of the best beer in the country comes out of Florida. I can say that without any doubt. I've visited a lot of states. I've been to the big festivals. Florida is on par with anybody when it comes to the beer.
So, how many breweries do you think that you've been to? And I know you people out there think that we're yelling at you, and we're not. It's just very loud here tonight. So if you are anywhere watching this and you can get down to Infusion, you need to.
Absolutely. If you're anywhere near the area, you should definitely come down and check it out. If you've never been to Infusion before, even if you can't get down today, get over here and have their beers. You will not be disappointed.
No, and I mean, one of their beers, the Pepino Step, has been mentioned in the Tampa Bay Times. They did a whole story on them, and people come down here and ask for that specific. Half the time, they can't keep it on tap.
Yep.
It's so good.
Yeah, and it's great to see because again, like I said, it's not just the beer geeks. They have their regulars. They have the people that who live here in the community, and this is their local brewery. And that's one of the things that after Prohibition, our country lost for a while was that the concept of a local brewery. Every town had one. Every town had their own little brewery. The beer didn't really get out of that town. Now, everybody in the United States, almost everybody, lives within 10 miles of a brewery. Doesn't matter what state you're in, what city you're in, you are within 10 miles of a brewery, almost guaranteed.
No need to Uber.
That's right.
You can walk it.
But you should still Uber.
Yeah, no. But you can walk it.
You can walk it. If you can walk it, absolutely, and have as much enjoy as
you can stagger it.
You can stagger it. You can stumble. You can weave.
That means you need to go out with a drinking buddy so that you both can lean on each other as you're going.
And then you can walk sideways like that.
Exactly, perpendicular, and then you'll get to where you're going. I know. I feel like I'm yelling at you. I'm not yelling at you.
It's the only way anybody can hear anything in here.
I'm yelling with you.
Yes, we're yelling together.
And I mean, I know that this weekend is Gasparilla. There is the NHL All-Star Game.
That's right.
There is so much stuff going on. The parking lot is packed out here. It is full. Everybody's having a good time. We will be back. We have a break coming up here, but we are going to come back, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about the Florida Brewers Guild. We're going to play Stump the Panel later on for some great prizes. So go grab yourselves a beer, and if you are in the area, get your ass down here because it is amazing. So we'll be back in a few minutes. Hi, lovers of libations. I am Christina, and I am here with Jose at JLA Distilleries. So, Jose, why won't you tell the people out there a little bit about how you got started in distilling?
Sure. So, my grandpa, back in the day, he used to make illegal spirits in Cuba. And so, before he passed away, he passed down the tradition of making spirits to me. And then back in 2010, I built the still that's behind us. And I was able to start making spirits in my house illegally, like my grandpa did back in Cuba. Yeah, and so from that, the business started to form itself. After I started, I made it, I did it, and I was successful at it. And then that's when we started applying for the licenses, and we got licensed in 2015. And so ever since then, we've been here making different types of spirits.
Pure corn whiskey is produced by mashing corn, fermenting the corn mash with yeast, and distilling the fermented mash. The mashed corn produces a particular profile that characterizes the flavor of corn whiskey. Jose conducted some tours during our visit, where he explained in detail his unique process for his world-famous Ox brands. Rachel and Josh had a tour at JLA Distillery, and they let us speak to them about their experience.
I loved it. It was really good. Everything was really smooth and delicious.
And what did you think? Did you get to try some?
Oh yeah, I tried it all. He even bought 3 bottles.
The process of distilling alcohol creates natural sugars, which does attract hornets. Fortunately for us, nobody was hurt during the taping of our interviews. After some taste testing with my friend Charlie from Nova Scotia, we went back to talk to Jose to learn more about JLA Distillery. How can people find out about you? What is your platform? Do you use Facebook, Instagram?
Yeah, we use Facebook and Instagram, and also we have our website is jladistillery.com. You can set up the tour, and the tour is usually about 30 minutes, and you get 2 shot glasses at the end. Ooh. Or a shot glass per person, however many people come. And then also you get to try all the samples of what we make.
Okay, now what do you see happening in the future? Do you want to expand at all?
Yeah, so we're hopefully going to be expanding this year into another facility. We're in the works of hopefully moving into a hotel.
Okay.
So it'll be the first hotel distillery in Florida.
Great, that's awesome.
So,
well, good luck to you. If you're ever down in the Orlando area, get a hold of Jose and set up a tour.
For
You
sure.
will not be disappointed. Thank you, Jose.
Thank you.
Guys enjoyed that little bit from when we went to JLA Distilleries down in Orlando. Have you been?
I have not yet. No, I've heard great things.
You need to go. And you were mentioning to me though that there are going to be some distilleries actually opening up.
There are. There's several new ones that are opening up. There's a few that have already opened up, around the Tampa Bay area, but also throughout the state. It's one of the things that, again, sort of peeling back a lot of those neo-prohibition laws, trying to get more of these small independent businesses opening up, and so you're going to start seeing more of the craft distilleries, the cideries, the meaderies, as well as the breweries, of course. And it just, along with that comes a lot of great stuff like restaurants and sort of more high-end bars and really fun stuff that's good for communities. It's good for local business. It's good for look.
Case in point.
Case in point. Look, if you could see around here, it is standing room only doesn't even really cover doesn't do it justice.
Does not. And I mean, like you were saying, all these different businesses. It also helps out restaurants.
Absolutely.
Shopping districts. And then coming back to the whole distillery and brewery relationship, some of the beers now that people are doing with the special treatments is they're aging their beer.
That's right.
In whiskey barrels and bourbon barrels, and where else are you going to get a whiskey and bourbon barrel but from a distillery?
That's right, and so it's been a practice that's been around for a long time, but you always had to go, you had to get it from Kentucky, or you had to get it from out of the state. But now you can get a bourbon or a whiskey barrel, or a rum barrel, from one county over, or one zip code over.
You don't have to do all that traveling
exactly.
and all that researching. And if they're not using their barrels.
Right, exactly. And so, in fact, there are some now that even, they'll do, they'll make their spirit, whatever, rum in a barrel, use it, send the barrel to the brewery puts their beer in it, and then they actually send the barrel back and they put rum in it again. So you actually start getting this, back and forth kind of cool thing. So now you actually have a beer barrel aged rum. So it's a cool. And the other thing about all that, about having all these local businesses, that money for the economy, it all stays here, within the community, within the state, and it's not being sent overseas or even out of the state. So it's another, yet another benefit to these businesses.
Oh no, and the community is growing. The distilling community is just as good as the brewery community and the wineries as well. They all kind of
they all do work together.
Mesh together and work together. Yeah. Speaking about all that stuff, now the Brewers Guild, of course, is just breweries. Have you guys thought about maybe?
There are already other organizations that work with distilleries and work with wine and spirit and that sort of thing. So we really focus on. Now, we do a lot of work with other industries, so as well as the distributors or retailers, but also the companies that make the kegs, the companies that deliver the hops and the grain, the companies that provide the insurance and the legal counsel. A lot of those people are members of the guild as well, because without all those, you can't run a brewery without all the supporting businesses. So, but we are focused on breweries and doing what's best for independent craft brewers in Florida.
Right, and the Brewers Guild always, you're there if anybody has a question.
Absolutely.
Do they have to specifically be a member of the guild?
Well, to participate in all that we offer, yes. Now, if there's a brewery that has some questions, that might need a little guidance, people help each other. That's and honestly, most some of the best help is actually the connection the guild makes between the different breweries. So somebody in Pensacola might have a question that somebody in Miami can answer, and we can connect those people. And it really it's a network and a community of all those businesses and breweries.
We've noticed it. We've been to different craft brewery festivals, and I've seen it firsthand where somebody has a problem with their tap system.
Oh, yeah.
People will rush right over.
Yeah. And
you don't see that in other businesses because you're in competition with them. But the breweries, it's a whole different brotherhood altogether.
Yeah. So it's also even behind the scenes where you don't see it. So you'll have a brewery that they're waiting on a hop delivery and it's been delayed because of weather or whatever. They have they can ask, hey, I need 20 pounds of Citra hops. Does anybody have any? And the brewers say, yeah, I've got them. I'll bring them over, or you can come pick them up. And they're not trying to screw each other over. They're not trying to keep each other down. That's why you see a lot of collaborations. A lot of breweries get together and brew beers together, and which sometimes are really weird and interesting, and sometimes they're just like a really straight up great beer. But you don't see that kind of collaboration in almost any other industry.
No, you don't see McDonald's taking their burgers over to Wendy's and saying, we're going to collaborate on this.
Right.
You know,
You
but
just-
there's so many breweries that actually have like guest taps,
Yes.
collaborations, and they share recipes and ideas.
Absolutely.
And like you said, if somebody's in a bind, they'll help them out. And you were speaking, of course, about hops earlier.
Yeah.
Last weekend, we went to see the guys at Central Hops.
Yeah.
Richard Smith and Matthew Roberts,
Yep.
great guys. Unfortunately, they didn't have any crops in the ground because, unheard of in Florida, we had days of cold weather and
it was
frost,
cold.
and they had to pull the stuff out of the ground. But their vision is huge, and what an impact that is going to have
Yeah.
on the brewery industry if you can get your hops
Yeah, absolutely.
locally grown.
Absolutely. It's going to be, when they get it, all dialed in and consistently working on a regular basis, it's going to be a game changer for a lot of people. Whether or not they'll be able to do the kind of volume for all the breweries remains to be seen, but they'll definitely be able to have an impact. And there's a few others around the state that are doing some different things as well. But yeah, it's a great thing, and it's also once again, agriculture in Florida is huge.
Yep.
They've got great resources with the universities around the state, with the people who are specialty in growing in Florida, because trying to grow anything in Florida is very different than trying to grow in
Exactly.
Oregon, California, something like that.
We don't have a lot of dirt. We have sand.
Right.
And
yeah.
that's sand is hard to grow stuff.
It is, and we have a lot of heat and a lot of moisture. So it's very, very different than the climates where
Exactly.
hops typically come from.
So I know that you're here on behalf of the Florida Brewers Guild. You guys have a lot of events that are coming up. So let's talk about the Craft Beer Festival, March the 3rd. That
Yes.
kicks off the Tampa Bay
So this is
Beer Week.
that is our big event of the year. Probably close to 2,000 people. Coat and Shelby Park in Tampa.
Jeez.
Over 60 breweries from around the state, all Florida breweries. Tickets are available. All you have to do is go to floridabrewersguild.org. But it's a great way to get some beers that you don't typically get. So you'll get beers that don't get to the Tampa Bay area at all. You'll get some special one-offs that some of the breweries do for just for the event. For me, one of the great things that I get to see people that I don't get to see the rest of the year.
Right.
It's a lot of fun. You pay. Your ticket gets you in. You get unlimited tasting on all the beers out there. A little collector glass or cup that you get. There'll be food trucks there. Opportunities for cool T-shirts and swag. But of course, it's all about the beer, and you're
Right.
going to get to have the best beer that Florida has to offer.
And then after, you have a member social in Orlando, and I think that's in July.
That's right. So in July, we do what's called a member social. So it's pretty much open just to members. But if you're interested in being a member, you can certainly come. And it's an opportunity for people to get together, a little networking. We usually have a presentation from one of our Allied Trade members, and it's also an opportunity because we'll be in Orlando. It's actually going to be at Broken Cauldron, which is a small little dual brewery, right next to the stadium in Orlando, and that's going to be a chance for us to one last hurrah before our conference.
Right, and then of course, Florida Brewers Conference,
Yes.
which I got to go to last year, which was amazing. Now, is it just for brewers, or can anybody go?
So anybody can go. It is a professional conference. This is not a beer fest, although there is a lot of beer there.
Yep.
But this is just like any industry. It is a business, and so it's open to brewers. It's open to the allied trade. So anybody who does business with brewers, who's interested in any way, shape, or form in the brewing industry, and we will have speakers from around the state as well. Some speakers from outside of the state come in who are experts in their field. Everything from business side to the technical side to the brewing process side. Quality is going to be a big focus this year, and it'll be in Orlando. It's August 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Right.
And tickets will be going on sale for that. Hopefully, pretty good.
Yeah, and they can find all that information at floridabrewersguild.com.
.org.
.org.
.org, yes.
And you guys are on Facebook.
Yes, we are.
Of course. And if anybody wants to message you, they can message you.
Definitely through our Facebook app or through the website.
Okay. So this was really interesting. If you're interested in being part of the Brewers Guild, of course, get a hold of Sean Nordquist.
Definitely.
I'm part of the Florida Brewers
Yes, you
Guild,
are.
so
Yes,
that
you
is
are.
fantastic. We are going to take a little break, and we're going to come back with our panel, which you're going to be a part of, Stump the Brewers, where we're going to ask some questions about beer, questions about infusion brewing, just general questions about beer. We do already have some competitors who are going to come and
Excellent.
play for some great prizes.
Excellent.
There is a $20 gift card from Infusion Brewing on the line. So do you
right.
think that you're up to the challenge?
Bring it on.
Bring it on. Okay, so we're going to take a little break, and we're going to be back with our contestants and our panel, and we were going to play Stump the Panel. Hey there, lovers of libations. My name is Christina. You may remember me from a show called Beer and Sunshine. Well, me and my friends have decided to go and start For the Love of Libations. That way we can talk about beer, we can talk about wine, we can talk about spirits, any alcohol, we can talk about it. So if you would like us to come to you, or you would like to learn some more about what we can do for you, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or you can email me at this address right down here to get more information. So don't forget, my name is Christina. We are For the Love of Libations, and libation in moderation, and arrive safe at your destination. Cheers!
So, for whoever... Step over here.
How many malts in a single malt?
How many malts in a single malt? One!
What's her name?
Kenji. And we are back live at Infusion, and oh, sorry, it is absolutely crazy here. I mean, I have to yell above the crowd. It is absolutely insane. I can't even see the flipping door. It is like so packed here. So we are back here. We have Sean Nordquist from the Florida Brewers Guild, and he is going to be our expert on the panel. We are going to play some beer trivia. With Super Bowl weekend coming, everybody gets a football whistle.
Oh, yeah.
So when you want to answer your question, you blow on your whistle. All right? Sean, I got one already done for you. I don't need one. So we have Angela Reamer from the Pasco Brewers Guild, who's going to be our official judge. I'm going to ask the questions. See how I am the host? They're my flipping rules, and if I want to change the rules, that's how it's going to be. So we all have a beer. How it goes is I will ask a question. If you know the answer, be the first to blow your whistle. Everybody at home can play. You can play at home, you can drink along. If you answer correctly, you get to drink. So if she answers correctly, she gets a drink. If he answers correctly, he gets a drink. The first person to finish their drink is the winner.
Okay.
So you have to try and stump them. This is Mallory. This is Matt.
Ken.
Ken. All right. So, and I am Christina. I have the cards here. So, are you guys ready to play?
Sure.
Hey. Judge, are you ready? Hey. All right. How much have you guys drank so far? Just so that we know what this game is gonna. Valerie's gonna count. I don't know. Drink. All right. Okay. So we've got 2 against 1.
All right.
You think you know enough about craft beer to take these guys on? I'm gonna knock you out. All right.
We'll find out, right?
Are you ready? Question number 1. Who was the first president to brew beer in the White House?
Brew beer in the White House.
Yep.
Oh, that's gonna
I'm
be.
just gonna make some up.
Yeah.
All right.
Nixon!
Wrong.
Obama.
Woo! No way! Yes.
Yeah.
All right. You get to take a sip of your beer.
Only a sip.
Only a sip.
Can I?
Okay. All right, Ken. For a bonus question,
Yes.
what was the beer called?
Ooh. You don't know.
First beer. First beer. I don't
Do
know.
you know the answer? What was the name of the first beer? No? What about you?
It was a honey brown, wasn't it? I don't remember the name of it.
Honey ale. What do you think,
Ale.
Judge?
Oh, I'd say give it.
Give him a drink? All
right.
Woohoo! Okay.
That was close.
Question number 2. Beer is the second most popular beverage in the world. What is the first?
So we're talking alcoholic beverages?
Nope. What is the first?
Water.
Wrong.
Cola.
Wrong.
Tea.
Right. Woo! Oh, you can take bigger sips than that.
Well, but I also started that much ahead of them, so.
All right.
I was gonna drink my whole.
Yeah. Everybody get right. That's not
Question number 3. A pint of beer is lifted on the average how many times? All right.
10.
Woo!
Wow.
Way to go!
Nicely done.
Yes, huh?
Yeah, take a big swig. Seeing how you answered correctly, Ken,
That seems like a really slow drinker to me.
for an extra sip, about 0.56 milliliters of beer are lost in every sip. Why?
That again?
With every sip, 0.56 milliliters of beer is lost with every sip. Why is that? No. Mallory.
Backwash.
No.
Fill it.
No. Facial hair. So no.
I should have known.
Listen, that wasn't fair.
So now
I wouldn't
I'm
know.
gonna ring it out from
Yeah.
now on.
Exactly.
I'm shaving
Okay.
tonight.
Although Mallory, you don't have a beard.
I know.
You wouldn't know,
fair.
unfortunately. All right. Next question. The term IBU in brewing stands for.
Oh man, I
Oh,
knew.
Judge, who was the first one to blow? All right.
International bitterness unit.
Go ahead. Take a drink.
I love IBUs. My favorite.
All right. Our next question. Tonight is the 1-year anniversary of Infusion Brewing. How many days in a leap year? Judge? It was Mallory? How many days in a leap year, Mallory?
364.
Woo! You get a sip.
Do we have
A gulp, not a sip.
Yeah. Take a
Go,
regular.
go. She wins!
Mallory!
You didn't lose any.
You didn't lose any.
And she didn't even lose any.
Okay. Your husband is a very lucky man. So what do you think, Judge? Does that qualify for her to be the winner of our game?
You rock, man. I told you you'd
All
win.
right, good job.
Woohoo! So I have a special prize for you. Thank you, Ken, for playing.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome, Mallory. We'll give you your prize
Sorry.
later. Thank you for playing. I hope you guys played out there and played at home. We're going to take a little break here in a little bit, and we will be back to say goodbye. Oh, no, actually, I want to talk to you a little bit more, and then we'll say our goodbyes. So are we ready for a break, or do you want us to keep going? Just keep going? All right, and we'll keep the panel here. I wish we could get you another drink. I did not expect you to finish that off.
That was awesome, huh?
That was awesome. What were you drinking?
Mango wheat.
Mango wheat.
I love the mango wheat.
Oh, okay. We can play some more. Woohoo! That's awesome.
I can go play some more.
We're gonna play some more.
All right.
All right.
One more question.
I had no idea you were gonna down it, sweetheart.
I went to college.
We can get a funnel if you want.
That is you.
Okay. All right. Adding hops while you're fermenting beer is called what?
Dry hopping.
Woohoo!
I get to drink.
Good job.
But don't do it like she did, because I got questions left. There are varieties of hops, some used for flavor, some used for aroma. What is the Latin term for hops?
Populus, Loomis. Close. They used to have a hat.
Cumulus lupulus.
What do you think, Judge?
He was close enough, you guys.
All
Yeah,
right.
he was close.
I used to have a hat. Had it on.
All right, you get to drink.
Oh, I get to. Hey! What is the proper?
Cumulus lupulus.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like wolf weed. Basically, what it means.
Woo! I think you should have a drink just for knowing that.
So, Spuddy Nose Brewery up in New Hampshire has a hat with that on it. With leaf
Yeah,
and
they're
stuff.
one of the old guard. They're a great.
I love
brewery.
Sweaty Nose.
Yep.
Okay. What is the science of brewing beer called?
Simmergy.
Oh God! I do know that. I do know that.
Did you know that?
I did know that.
Oh, okay. All right.
I forgot.
I have 2 more questions left.
All right, we're ready.
Iron City Beer was the first beer brand chosen in 1962 to test market what beer innovation?
Beers in cans.
What do you think, Judge? Okay, the correct answer is aluminum cans that have a tab opening.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, how else are you going to open it? Go ahead.
Well, because the old cans.
I mean, you can shotgun it.
Yeah. All right, here's our last question.
Last
So,
question.
So whoever finishes their beer, so whoever gets this is going to be the winner.
Well, she will no matter what.
Just sit down.
Oh, I'm going to give you something anyway because that was fantastic.
That was
In the
best.
TV show Laverne and Shirley from the 1970s, where did the girls work?
Jots Brewery, Milwaukee.
Well
All
done.
right, so down and now it's our last question. That is fantastic. So you know what? You won, but because you did so well, you are
I think she
definitely-
won.
Well, you guys are going to get prizes.
She got like a second beer. I mean, that
So what do you think, Sean? How was their knowledge of beer?
Pretty impressive. You guys did well. You guys did very well.
I did too.
You did fantastic.
was. Oh yeah, you great.
That was impressive.
All right. So we're going to ask the judge, who do you think won our trivia game?
Oh,
I put you on the spot, Angie. Yay! So Mallory, on behalf of Infusion Brewing and For the Love of Libation, there's a $20 gift card,
Hey.
and you both are going to get a For the Love of Libations t-shirt for
Oh my God!
Thank you for playing. We're going to take a short break, and we will be back to wrap things up from Infusion Brewing here in Trinity.
Hey.
Hey there, lovers of libations. My name is Christina. You may remember me from a show called Beer and Sunshine. Well, me and my friends have decided to go and start For the Love of Libations That way we can talk about beer, we can talk about wine, we can talk about spirits, any alcohol, we can talk about it. So if you would like us to come to you, or you would like to learn some more about what we can do for you, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or you can email me at this address right down here to get more information. So don't forget, my name is Christina. We are For the Love of Libations, and libation in moderation, and arrive safe at your destination. Cheers! And we are back live at Infusion Brewing. We had a great game with Valerie and with Ken and our panel of one. But everybody is so busy because it is hot here at Infusion Brewing. It is insane. Insane. So we want to say congratulations to Infusion Brewing. 1 year in business.
Which is awesome.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
We wish you much success in the next year and the next years to follow. We love you guys. We couldn't do what we do without you guys because they let us come into their brewery.
Absolutely.
So before we go, I want to touch again on the events that you have coming up.
So the one coming up soon, the Florida Brewers Guild Craft Beer Festival in Tampa, March 3rd. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Great beers from all over the state. Look for member socials throughout the year, all around the state, and then our conference in August. Especially if you're somebody who works in the industry, you definitely want to be there at the conference.
I definitely want to be there. It's so exciting, and I want to go over the more things that are happening because we're all about supporting local breweries, local tap rooms, so I want to let everybody out there know a few of the things that are going on. And I also want to let them know that, of course, For the Love of Libations, what we do is to spread the word about different breweries, distilleries, wineries. If it has anything to do with drinking, we'll cover it. And any money that we make, we donate to charity. So if you want to help out local charities, you can go online and you can buy our shirts. $5 from every sale of our shirts. We donate to charity. If you are a brewery that wants us to come out and do a little story, do a live show like this, you can email me, Christina.fortheloveoflibations@gmail.com. You can look us up on Facebook. We have a website, www.fortheloveoflibations.com. Check us out. Our links to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything is there. You can get a hold of us and we can come out and come to you. And like I said, a lot of the stuff that we do helps support local charities. And I mean, it's all about community. It's all about community drinking. Some of the events going on actually tomorrow at the Brass Tap in Trinity, they're having a fundraiser for Special Olympics.
Oh, great.
So they have all kinds of stuff going on all day. The entry fee is $10 per person, $20 for a two-person team. All the entry fees plus 10% of all the food that they sell tomorrow, they are going to donate to the Summer Games Special Olympics, which is hosted by River Ridge. So way to go for helping out that. Also, next Sunday, of course, Super Bowl Sunday. Anybody that loves football and loves to drink, make sure you go out and support your local tap rooms. Go out and have a few beers with your friends. Watch the football game. Also, we have coming up is the 4th annual Hop Support Heroes, which is the 17th at Ferg Sports Bar in St. Pete. Are you going to be there?
I very probably will be there. It's a great event. I've been to the past several years. They do some really great stuff for our veterans, and the breweries all get on board too. It's a really great event.
Yeah, there's over 30 breweries, 100 different types of beer, and like you said, it helps support local veterans.
That's correct.
Yeah. And also, if you're ever in St. Pete, you've got to go to Masteries. They're having an event coming up, and is their lip sync battle. And it's also to help support the Tampa Bay Beer Week, which starts March the 3rd.
Yes.
There are events going on all the time. Now, do you guys post the events on your website as well?
Some of them we do, but if you want to look at all the events that are going to be going on during Tampa Bay Beer Week, go to tampabaybeerweek.com and also look at their Facebook page. I used to be on the board for Beer Week, so I still work with those guys very closely. They put on some really great events.
Yeah. So what Masters is going to do is on the 8th of March, it is going to be a brewer battle, but not beer. Lip sync.
And rumor has it that a certain executive director might be involved in that as well.
And I think a certain For the Love of Libations host is involved in that as well. So I guess we're celebrity judges
Right.
for this thing. So, but it's not just going to be based on what the celebrity judge thinks. It's also crowd.
Yes. Yeah.
So-
it's basically how excited you can get the crowd
Exactly.
about what
So-
you're doing.
Get out your 80 wigs. Get out your spandex pants. Practice a little bit of air guitar.
Work on your dance moves.
Yes, work on your dance moves. And no matter what you do, make sure you go out and support your community, support your local breweries. Thank you so much, Sean, for
Thank you
being
very much.
here.
Thank you for having me here.
Florida Brewers Guild. Don't forget we're down here. The party is still going on here at Infusion. It is like insane. I am Christina, For the Love of Libations. I can't do this without my team behind the camera, my husband, and of course Chris Barrett. And don't forget, when you are out drinking, and it is Gasparilla weekend,
Yes, it is.
the libation in moderation, and arrive safe at your destination. Cheers!
Cheers.